Zen's heart raced as he noticed the baby's condition deteriorating rapidly. The woman was bleeding profusely, and time seemed to be slipping away from them. He looked around frantically, his mind swelling with panic, when suddenly he heard a voice. "What is wrong?" A woman's voice called out from nearby. Zen turned around to see a woman approaching. Relief washed over him. He rushed to her, words tumbling out in his haste. This woman is in labor and has given birth, but she's unconscious and losing a lot of blood. The baby needs help. Without hesitation, the woman ran to the unconscious mother. She tore off part of her wrapper to use as makeshift delivery aid. She demanded for a knife or any sharp object. Then handed her his penknife to cut the umbilical cord, and with a few deft movements, the baby boy was free. He was weak, barely moving. The woman walked swiftly, clearing blockages from the baby's nostrils to help him breathe. She turned to Zen, her face a mask of concentration. "Has the baby cried before?" she asked. "Yes, he cried but suddenly stopped," Zen replied, his voice thick with worry. She nodded. "He will be okay. We just need something to wrap him." Zen pulled off his shirt and handed it to her. She wrapped the baby carefully, ensuring he was warm. Zen's thoughts were racing. "What about the mother?" he asked, desperation lacing in his voice. The woman didn't answer immediately. Instead, she asked for water to clean up the woman. Zen fumbled with his bag and produced a bottle of water. She washed the mother gently and they moved her onto a clean wrapper. "Thank you," Zen said, his voice breaking with emotion. "You just saved lives." The woman nodded, retrieving her bag to continue her journey. Zen, overwhelmed with gratitude, chased after her. "May I know your name, please?" She stopped and smiled. "You may not know me, but I know you. You are the son of Zen Dennis. You are a very kind man. The gods are with you." "The gods are with me." Again, Zen muttered to himself, feeling a shiver of something he couldn't quite place. "But I still want to know you, please," he insisted. "My mother is from this village, but my father is from Oka. Before I forget, if you can get a coconut, put a few drops of coconut water in the baby's mouth. It will help sustain him while his mother recovers." Zen nodded, taking in every word. "Okay, but I still want to know exactly where your mother is from in Nimo." "My mother is the first daughter of His Royal Highness Oragis II, she replied. Zen's eye widened in shock. He prostrated himself on the ground. "You are the daughter of the princess of our kingdom. May you live long." The woman smiled warmly, bid him farewell, and continued on her way. Zen stood up and returned to the woman and her baby, his heart full of gratitude. He sat down beside the sleeping infant. "Thank you, Amadioha, for sending a royal princess to help. What could I have done without her?" He checked his time and realized it was already 4 o'clock. Time had slipped away while he was lost in the urgency of saving the woman and her child. "How will I get this woman out of here before nightfall?" he wondered aloud. "And where will I take her to? My house is 3 miles away from here and she's unconscious. Even if she weren't, she wouldn't have the strength to walk." Zen sighed, feeling the weight of exhaustion and hunger. He hadn't eaten all day. "But you have coconut," a voice whispered. He remembered the woman's advice about the coconut. Rushing to his bag, he retrieved the coconut, knelt beside the baby, and gently dripped the water into his mouth. The baby licked the water eagerly, his tiny body responding to the substance. Shortly after feeding the baby with the coconut water, Zen heard the sound of an approaching vehicle. "Amadioha, please touch the driver's hatch to help us," he prayed, hastily organizing his bag. He flagged down the car, his heart pounding with hope. The car, a dusty old van, flowed beside them. The driver didn't stop immediately but slowed down. Zen ran after the car, pleading, "Please help us. We are stranded." "To where?" the driver asked. "Please, anywhere you can drop us on or before downtown will be helpful," Zen replied breathlessly. The driver stopped and reversed. Zen quickly picked up the baby and his bag, placing them in the car as soon as it halted. He then hurried back to retrieve the woman. The driver, seeing her condition, stepped out to help. Inside the car, Zen held the woman securely against him, carefully not to let her fall. The driver glanced back. What happened to her? "She gave birth and lost a lot of blood," Zen explained. "What about the baby?" the driver asked. "The baby is with us. He was very weak, but he seems to be doing better now," Zen said, trying to keep his voice steady despite his growing anxiety. Zen thought about his journey to meet the oracle. He needed to find a place for the woman and her baby to recover. He silently prayed for guidance, unsure unsure of how to proceed if the worst should happen. The driver interrupted his thought. I will help you to Pentagon Hospital, a hospital downtown. It's about 3 hours drive from here. Zen thanked the driver for his kindness. The journey felt interminable, but they finally reached the hospital. Nurses and doctors rushed out with a stretcher, and the woman was whisked away into the emergency room. One of the nurses holding the baby, and Zen followed close behind, praying silently for the mother's survival. The doctor informed him that the woman needed 2 pints of blood. Zen volunteered to donate. In the lab, after confirming he was a suitable donor, the technician advised him to eat before donating to avoid dizziness. Zen found a nearby restaurant and ordered 2 plates of fufu with okra soup. He ate quickly, the food giving him the strength he needed. Returning to the lab, Zen explained that he was the only available donor. The technician, seeing his determination, decided to take 1 pint first. After the donation, Zen realized the baby hadn't eaten all day. He informed the nurse, who assured him the doctor will examine the mother soon, and asked for baby clothes. Upon inquiring, Zen went out and bought baby items. He bought a tub for the woman, detergent, and a bucket. Exhausted, Zen asked for a place to rest and was allowed to sleep in the private ward. Before he slept, he thanked Amadioha for guiding him through a challenging day and prayed for the woman's recovery. As he drifted into sleep, he had a vivid dream. In his dream, Zen was in a bustling market buying vegetables. He stumbled upon a group of older men arguing over a baby. Most wanted the baby killed, fearing it would anger their god. Zen pleaded with them not to harm the innocent child. They ignored him, viewing him as an outsider. The majority decided the baby must die to purify their land from evil. In desperation, Zen quietly asked one of the elders what crime did the baby had committed to warrant such a fate. There was no response. One of the men roughly picked up the baby, causing it to cry. Zen's heart ached for the child, but he didn't know how to save it. The man carrying the baby began chanting a purification song, heading towards a deserted well. The others followed, chanting in response. When they reached the well, the man raised the crying baby and spoke, "You came from evil. You came with evil. Now you must go back with your evil." The crowd chanted in agreement. As the man prepared to throw the baby into the well, Zen screamed, "Don't kill the innocent baby. He is just a victim of circumstance." Zen woke up with these words on his lips. He realized it was just a dream, but felt an overwhelming sense of urgency. He saw a nurse attending to the woman and rushed over, fearing the worst. She reassured him that the woman was responding well to treatment. Zen thanked her, relieved it was only a nightmare. He sat back, trying to shake off the lingering sadness of the dream. The dream had felt so real, and Zen wondered if it had any connection to the woman and her baby. He couldn't shake the image of the innocent child from his mind, but reminded himself it was just a product of his imagination and the stress of the day. Yet, the sadness lingered, a haunting echo of his fear for the vulnerable mother and the child in his care. If you have followed this story to this point, kindly give this video a thumbs up. You can as well comment and share. Kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will know when we publish other stories.